Okay. Lost in space. A very short prospecting mission, and we're now falling towards the planet. And Brad is piloting, and he's telling me all the things that his ship needs that it doesn't already have. Look at all the engines on this ship. It's a madhouse. Once you're out in space, you can turn your dampeners back on, otherwise you'll have trouble pulling up to a stop next to things. Little... that's good. Yeah. Yeah. Ion drives are weak, but yeah, use electricity instead of hydrogen, so presumably you can camp and use solar to regenerate in a brown trousers situation. But I have no idea. In theory, you've got enough engines to lift half a planet. We should be able to run. Don't think so. What does it tell you the altitude is? We'll be we'll be closer to 8 when it starts working. If you look on your bottom right, 57,000 kilos is the weight of the ship. So you can actually get little online calculators where you can punch in the weight of your ship and it'll tell you how many of what size thrusters you need to lift it, and vice versa, what you can... Yes, I know. Too many. Good, good. Ah, yes, you've got the four at the back, and yeah, that one thruster is overkill on its own. Yeah, one big one's very safe. I've got some maths here somewhere. Let me have a look. Okay, I'm gonna do some maths based on how I think things work. My understanding is that the small grid large hydrogen can do 1600 armor blocks and that they weigh 75 kilos each. According to my mathmatron, the large thruster on the back of your small grid ship can lift 120,000 kilos, and your 57,000 kilos, so the big one, so it could lift a ship roughly double this size without breaking too much of a sweat. Each of those four little ones can lift about 400 armoured blocks, light armour blocks worth of weight. The big one, 1600 armour blocks worth of weight. So you could pretty well encase this in armour and still get into orbit. The only issue would maybe be your fuel tank size, I guess. Even with double fuel tanks. Might drain a lot to do it. Yep. A successful test of the extreme conditions. Deliberately went up and ran out of fuel and tested our ability to recover the aircraft without any hydrogen fuel. Hence the complete lack of ice, because of course that would have ruined the testing quality. Yep, we should be able to get 20 kilometres in 20 minutes. It's a bit of a power hog, this thing, funnily enough. But yeah, there's some lift tests you can do where you just get all your vertical thrusters and manually crank them and see what percentage you have to crank them up to get them to work. And if it's about 60%, that's fine. Whereas if you're at like 40% or lower and you're still lifting your ship off the ground, then you've got more thrusters than you need. The PR department won't have any trouble spinning that mission. It was the first one where two astronauts went up and two astronauts came back down. It's just been wall-to-wall fatalities until now, so the PR team's been having a bit of a rough time of it, trying to spin it. That looks like 8 engines on each side, vertical thrust-wise. Let's do some quick math then. Small jets, 330. $24,750. Stormy weather. Okay, I'm going to do some thrust calculations based on 57,000 European kilograms of satanic evil, because we all know that the metric system's a conspiracy. Conspiracy against the glory of Merca. Okay, ship weight 57. Maybe I can. Careful, slow down. 57,000 ship weight. Small. Okay, I'm going to shut the video down for landing because there may be some chug involved while I do some maths. 100% successful trip as advertised.